Welcome back, everybody. My name is Jim Vicevich, part 3 of the Sound Off Connecticut. My name is Jim Vicevich, 1-800-966-9842. This is a story that has not gotten a lot of attention, but it should. And the reason is because, once again, the state has gone back on its word. Breaking treaties is kind of or promises is kind of a rite of passage when it comes to in particular, a Democratic legislature. As I said before, when you get your Social Security statement, many of you probably don't even know this. But at the bottom of your statement, make sure you read the fine print. It says your Social Security benefits, your SS benefits, can be changed at any time. Your eligibility can be changed at any time, depending on the whim of Congress. So that's why it's always, considered the third rail. Don't touch my Social Security. Stay off my lawn. You kids, get off my lawn. But the same is true right here in Connecticut. Joining me on the hotline right now is somebody that I rarely ask for politicians, but I wanted this politician immediately as soon as I read this story. Joining me on the hotline right now, Trumbull Representative. Hang on here one second. Let me get the right number here. There we go. Trumbull Representative Laura Devlin. Representative, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Well, I hope I don't make you radioactive. I very rarely have Republicans or Democrats on, but I am with you on this. I mean, to me, it's outrageous enough to turn to a college or a university or a hospital in particular, and say that now all of a sudden we're going to tax you on the property you own after you've expanded and you offer a service that nobody can offer. You offer a service that actually attracts business and people into a city. Now you're turning around and saying, hey, oh, by the way, we're going to change the rules. Tell us how egregious this rule. Tell us what the new bill is, even though it's been tabled for now. Tell us what the bill is and what it will do and why it's so egregious.
Well, I have to tell you, when I heard the amendment that was brought to the floor, I was as outraged as you've just described. What was proposed?
Well, you got my blood pressure up, Representative. I'll tell you that right now. It's ready to judge. Wednesday, I'm supposed to relax on Wednesdays. I'm supposed to take it easy. And then all of a sudden, I read your email, and I called Joey immediately. I said, Joey, get her on the air. I want her on now. So tell my audience why I'm so outraged and why you are too.
Well, the original bill was bad enough, as you stated, to tax our nonprofit hospitals and colleges and universities, of which would be the only state in the union to do that. But this amendment that came to the floor also made that retroactive. So for hospitals, any properties, be it a diagnostic clinic or anything like that they had purchased since 2009, would be subject to property tax.
Now listen to that, audience. This would be a tax retroactive to 2009. And if they can do it to a hospital, they can do it to you.
Well, they have done it to us. Don't forget, in 2011, Dan Malloy's historic tax increase, this was the largest tax increase in our state's history. It was our shared sacrifice to get out of a deficit. And he not only raised taxes to the highest level and expanded the sales tax across things that had never been taxed, our income tax was retroactive that year. So if you remember in September,
that's right,
your paycheck may have been a little bit less because they reached back. So, it's crazy. And we are rated, if not one of the worst states in the union to do business in. And it's, you stated this earlier. We make a deal with businesses. It may not be a good deal, but it's the deal. So at least they have a plan. They can go forward knowing what they're working with. But then we change it, right? We're going to give you tax credits. Whoops. No, we're not.
Absolutely.
We're going to do this, play this way. Oh, we're changing the rules. So it is very difficult. And it's not good for our economy. And continually taxing is not the answer, and particularly retroactive taxing, I find absolutely appalling.
There's a reason we have so many small community hospitals which are desperately needed. They may not be the Cleveland Clinic or Johns Hopkins, but they're desperately needed. There is a reason that we give them tax-exempt status. They're not making a profit. They're not out to make a profit. And if you go ahead and tax them retroactively back to 2009, Representative Devlin, you're going to put these guys right out of business.
And many of them are already operating in the red. I have the honor of serving on the Finance Committee, And Ben Barnes had stated, when asked about one of his proposals for raising taxes on hospitals, he said, "Well, why do people rob banks? That's where the money is."
When I heard that, I was just, my audience, I mean, we sat here, we were in stunned disbelief that a representative would say something like that. We go after him because that's where the money is. Representative Devlin, by the way, you guys should know, is one of the few representatives at the state capitol who actually fights to keep taxes from going up and tries to give a rationale for why you should not raise taxes. As you said, one of the reasons you attract business is because you have a good tax climate for business. We're killing that.
For our hospitals, too, what's overlooked are the services that they provide. They contribute hugely to the economy, right? They're big purchasers of lots of different things. They pay utilities. They provide jobs. They do all sorts of things. But what is overlooked are the services that they provide to communities and communities that are very much in need. So, and with Obamacare, they're even under greater pressure to be changing their business model. So, yeah, I think it is hugely unfair, the attacks that are, going on right now in terms of looking at hospitals as a source for more tax income.
I had a hospital administrator tell me, Representative, that trying to do business in Connecticut is now nearly impossible. Have you ever been, President Obama actually was touting this, believe it or not. Now they don't support Obamacare. But if you ever seen the Cleveland Clinic, it takes up block after block after block after block. It is one of the most comprehensive clinics I've ever seen. It's like Disneyland for hospitals. You get on a tram, you go around from station to station to station, so you never miss a single specialist. You see everybody. They see you for a long time because everybody's on salary, so they don't really care how long they see you. Doesn't matter whether they see 10 patients or 20 or 50. They get paid the same amount no matter what. They're not on a per capita basis or a per head basis. You could never have a Cleveland Clinic in a place like Connecticut if you pass this, because nobody could afford to set up a Cleveland Clinic.
Yeah.
I mean, instead...
We're in vehement agreement.
Honestly, the Cleveland Clinic must take up half of Cleveland, and yet that is the place where people go when they want to be treated. Or Johns Hopkins. I've also been to Columbia University's hospital, which takes up I think everything from 110th Street to 167th Street. It is the largest complex I've ever seen. You could not have a Columbia University, and yet when the poor go to be served, where do they go? They go to Columbia University. The Columbia University serves as an anchor for healthcare in New York City for the poor. So why you would do this to a hospital, I have no idea. What is going through their heads up there?
That is the big question.
Well,
no idea.
You have. I need to ask you another question because my brother wanted me to ask you this. This is off topic. Don't worry, it's not a gotcha question. Connecticut, because you might be in favor of this, and if you are, so be it. You and I can disagree. But Connecticut is offering a cash rebate of up to $3,000 a person to buy an electric car because people aren't buying electric cars. Where are we getting the money to offer these rebates?
I wish I could answer that question. It's astounding to me. We have I don't know where that money's coming from, and I certainly hope it's not coming from taxpayers, from our general fund, from the state. I don't know where it's coming from. But we have to stop spending. We don't have money. So,
well, they say
I don't know the details on that one. I really don't.
Well, they say the money is coming from $1 million that the state got by approving a merger. This was extortion money. We'll allow Northeast Utilities to merge as NSTAR, the combined company with now is EverSource Energy. They extorted.
We put that money to helping the social services.
Well,
that the governor cut that. We want to restore, but we want to restore without tax increases.
Well, the lottery was supposed to go to education, too, but that doesn't mean it does. Honestly, right. Representative, no wonder people don't trust you. I don't mean to say you, but don't trust legislators for the most part because nobody keeps their word. Everybody goes back on their word.
It's pretty amazing. And I'm a freshman legislator, so this is my first term. And really, I ran for this seat because I couldn't take it anymore. And as I was campaigning last fall, I heard it as I went door to door. People are tapped out. And, it's pretty crazy. It's been a very eye-opening experience these past few months. And being part of the minority party as well, it can be frustrating at times, no doubt. But I certainly continue to fight and encourage people to get loud and to share their voices, make their voices heard, that there's a better way for our state, and the path we're on is not it.
Well, there's only a better way if more people like you are actually elected to office. And Representative Devlin, you have been on top of the tax situation since you were elected. I hope you'll be there for a long time. It is my hope that you will be majority leader someday and actually get the state back on the right course. So I hope I didn't make you radioactive. But then again, I've been saying nice things about Daniel P. Malloy too, so I'm sure I've made him radioactive. Representative Laura Devlin, serving Trumbull and Fairfield as well. I want to thank you very much for leading the charge against higher taxes. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
You're the best, Representative. Thanks.
Thank you.
We got to take a break. Thank you, Representative. We got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Thursday at 3 on Joe D. and Gresh will digest Game 3.